Zed bot lane alongside Pantheon. Have you guys tried that one? Maybe sub out to Leah?
Nope. Pantheon to Leah.
I think you guys are missing out.
That's the Avengers. All right, so Aurelia now banned away by Jinair, perhaps indicating that they want to get a hold of an Aatrox, but Aatrox isn't the best champion into a Zoe Ezreal, unless he's able to get really far ahead. Then he does feel like one of the best. He's able to really just get in there with the World Ender. Nocturne now being banned away. It is a jungler that both Ezreal and Zoe would really hate. Well, Ezreal a little bit less so if he does have the Iceborne Gauntlet. And Thomas now will bite the dust, and that does mean that a Shen... Wow, that was an insta-lock of the Kindred and the Ornn. Now, I really like this for a few reasons. Ornn is historically one of the best answers to protect the X-type comps, like an Azir or a Kog'Maw. He can get access to the backline like no other champion in the game can, and he can provide a way through the front line as well. So, obviously, Ezreal and Zoe, they want to sit really far back. They want to just dish out everything and have their pawns set up in front of them in order to lay siege and lay waste, basically, to the opposing team comp. But the interesting thing, I guess, for me is the Kindred, though, is really bizarre. Kindred is a little bit bad, actually, against Poke.
Yeah.
So it was very surprising to see her brought in immediately, but KT, they lock in the Nico, and I personally have never seen this matchup, but I imagine that this is some nightmare fuel. I'm not entirely sure how Ornn is actually supposed to live inside of this lane. Now, this is 9.5B, so Nico is hotfixed.
Yeah.
She has not yet received the buffs that she got in 9.6, but I do think that she's a menace, and I think that Jinair, they're going to have their work cut out for them against this team composition.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. I also like the Ornn pick a lot. It's great at forcing engages and stopping that Poke underneath the turrets, but we'll see if they can actually pilot it to success.
Well, the team compositions here, Lucian, Braum, Ryze, Kindred, and Ornn, they're going to need to make it to the mid-game, at least on even footing, and then look for some explosive engages with the Ornn to try to get ahead of the KT team comp. If they can't do that, there's going to be really very little hope to recover, especially because the Nico, their team comp is very immobile, and trying to get to her in a side lane and then actually hold her down is going to be quite difficult. On the flip side, for KT, Nico, Rek'Sai, Zoe, Ezreal, and Shen have that stand united for the Nico in the later stages of the game in the event that she would be caught out. Massive amounts of poke and siege, and quite an obnoxious amount of CC and slow. This is going to be a match.
It's going to be one to watch and ponder on the state of the game and whether or not KT can make it out of relegations. But let's jump into game one first and find out. So, as you guys may have expected, hey, you know, it's KT and Jinair up against each other. Maybe the fans aren't going to come out in hordes, but actually we have a massive fan base. The entire studio is nearly filled
this is really
to the
surprising.
brim, even for this matchup. And, you know, call a spade a spade. This is not Griffin versus SKT. This is not the marquee matchup of the LCK, but we're still getting tons of fans every day, no matter who's playing, and definitely a great feel for us as casters, even the players as well. They always got people coming in and watching, and as you guys can see as well, Ornn has moved to the mid lane. So
Ornn,
not quite what you were expecting.
This is my kind of Ornn,
Yeah.
Brendan. This is
this
what I used to play back in the day. You would just spellbook on Ornn, and you used to build ZZ Rot Portal with Banner of Command. Those were the days. Banner of Command first item, getting those biscuits, the Ruby Crystal. Enemy mid can't shove you out.
Yeah.
Spellbook for the memes? Not really the memes. He doesn't have another rune to actually take in mid. And I'm curious if he's going to try to have a straight-up itemization build, or if we're going to see a ZZ Rot Portal in mid. Wow,
okay,
very aggressive.
Yeah, we're not wasting any time with this one. The Ignite is ticking down. They don't even need the Kindred. First blood goes to Root in the bottom side along Kellen.
And that was a really nice kill for them right there. As now Grace is going to be able to come over to the Scuttle Crab. And
the action.
You know, I absolutely love the RNG on the Kindred marks here, too. I'm sure that Score is feeling absolutely fantastic that C has managed to be such a unit that he managed to get the Kindred mark on the right-hand side.
Hold the phone here.
I think they want to go on.
Okay,
again,
well, he was thinking about it, but this is really risky. Level 2. But you could try it, especially because Kango doesn't have his flash still, obviously, and his E is not skilled up yet.
BDD seems to be doing a relatively poor job in the mid lane. Chungo's HP has essentially not moved. He hasn't used his potion. He has a Doron, but BDD is at half mana. So this lane is not being played very well by BDD here on the Zoe. He's even taking some hits. Now, yes, he does still have 3 corrupting potions, but this is not how you want the Zoe Ornn lane to be looking here at 3 minutes into the game. And so Jin Air are finding themselves in a pretty interestingly good position here. Their mid laner is completely fine and doing well. Their bottom lane has a nice advantage right now. Lucian even has the biscuits from the inspiration tree. So I guess that rather than try to take teleport himself, he's going to try to sustain through the lane and look for power plays. And Root and Kellen, I remember, I believe, casting them one time, and they showed similar levels of aggression.
The thing about Root and Kellen is that they were always known to be quite aggressive and fantastic on the solo queue ladder, so you know they have the mechanics and the ideas of when and how to go in, but once they hit LCK, it just seemed like they couldn't keep up with some of the other bot lanes that are quite good, obviously, in this league, but there are moments where they will show signs of, you know, that solo queue expertise.
Yeah.
We just saw a bit of that here. I mean, they didn't even need the gank from the Kindred to pull that kill off.
Here in mid lane, BDD with his cleanse, which really it's not the best ability against mid Ornn. And you can see everything is just getting frozen a little bit here.
Yeah, the cleanse, I mean, you're expecting to go up against the Ryze. You think, okay, I don't want to get dunked here by the combo of Ryze and Kindred. But it was actually a nice play. You were talking about how it was going to be really hard for an Ornn up against an Eco, and they just switcheroo up on them.
Ping came in. You can see that arrow ping, and I think that's C saying that he's on the way. Don't die, please.
Okay, knockup comes in into the root. Grace still going to go for the flash, but the last hit on the W, Kingen able to shut him down.
Really disrespectful by Grace there. Went for the Rune Prison prior to flashing. And so Kingen and Score able to pick up that kill, which comes at a really key moment. And you can see that C's was on the way. A ping even came in prior.
Oh
man.
He's
they got him.
Ignited and he's dead. There's no heal on that Ezreal. He's got teleport and another kill. Just 2v2 in the bot lane.
Root and Kellerton doing absolutely fantastic here. And right now, if you're Ornn, you're probably not feeling too bad about this. You're about to hit level 6 on this wave. He has minion dematerializer.
Needs it now. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, he got 6, but they don't want to go for this play. There's way too many minions. You can't be absolutely certain of where Rek'Sai is on the map. Have to be a little bit careful. Kindred's marks, a little bit unfortunate.
Oh boy, trying to pull off the moves here. Pop Blossom comes in, and Grace.
Yeah, Grace.
Okay.
Not having a fun game.
Yeah, no flash here on Kingen. Decides not to continue on that one. Just zones him out, pushes him back, and no TP on that Ryze.
Take another quick look at the replay here. You can see he doesn't flash preemptively and then go for the Rune Prison. And so he goes for the Rune Prison first, gets knocked up. Not the best of times. Nico even getting earlier access to the damage. And then right here, I mean, this was just very well executed by Root and Kellen.
Yeah. Not enough respect shown by Snowflower too. Had both of his summoners, particularly his flash, but thought he could just survive, but then the stun came out from the Braum and the double hit from the Lucian passive, so he gets the stun and the flash on in with the Ignite makes it happen.
Now, despite all of this, the Kleptomancy on the Ezreal is helping him keep up in the gold department. We can see at the top that KT's actually ahead, despite everything that has happened.
I mean, the Rek'Sai is farming a bit better, obviously. Top lane is going very well for them, so kind of does even out at the end of the day. And also, the kill did go the way of Braum. The second time around in the bot lane. This time, Q not going to land here from Kellen, but Cullen comes out, and Snowflower moves out of the way and nearly kills his AD carry. What is going on in this KT bot lane as Dinner?
Oh man, and
they're going to look
moving
to
in.
extend.
This is so well done right now. Ezreal does have the teleport available, but Snowflower taking a lot of damage. He is going to TP back, even though they do know that Kindred is in close proximity. Need to be really careful here. The blue is going to come up. I do believe that Seas wants to stay around for that. They probably know that Rek'Sai is on the left-hand side of the map right now. When Kindred is inside the right-hand side jungle and the way that Ezreal and Shen are moving the way that they are, you have to know that, okay, Rek'Sai, he's not coming. There's no way that Rek'Sai is over here. So Ryze, please don't die. That is what they're saying right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've pinged it a million times, right?
Yep.
This
here
two-shot
they
barrage
go.
was meant for the blue buff, but still going to try to set up this kill.
Oh, man. This is going to be a little bit rough. That is way too late.
Oh, they're not going to be able to get that one. The root comes in. Pop Blossom is enough, and Kingin going to survive after taking only 2 hits. And how about some extra plates for your Nico in the top lane?
How about your jungler is in the right-hand side jungle for about 45 seconds or so, bottom lane not playing aggressive, and then you still die to that gank? How about that, Brendan?
Grace is, you know, he's trying to teach us new things about League of Legends.
I think that he's sane, Grace. He knew that KT were about to get well fed, and so he was trying to do it for them up there in top lane as he refused to just give up the minions, knowing that that was coming. And I could understand it maybe if he had his flash available. And he thought, okay, maybe I can try to outplay this.
It wasn't even close.
It's not even close.
And, well, Mid-Orn is really good at actually moving on down and engaging from long range. He's still here. They see him. And that means that KT is going to have to give this one away. Looked like the Nico only got 1 extra plate up in the top side, too. So they're going to deny a bunch of experience and gold here. Until, of course, Jenner does move away. But another plate will go the way of Root and Kellen.
And we take a look at the top difference, and that's where a lot of the gold that's keeping KT in the game is coming in from. The Nico almost has the Blade of the Ruin King, and honestly, Kellen and Root, with this Lucian Braum, have been doing such a good job. I'm a little bit not impressed right there, though. 1 bullet did miss.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Root's really been off point. I mean, this is a stomp down on the bottom side.
Yep.
Again, I said it multiple times already, but they didn't even need the Kindred.
Oh, okay.
You can dodge that.
I thought he would just go to sleep. Okay,
I guess not.
Yeah, that's definitely very different. Oh, because when I think I played one, I think they removed the.
They brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it back. So that's a very cute interaction. Oh, he doesn't have it now.
As plate is going to be more valuable, anyway.
And now, if you're KT right now, you're looking to get this Rift Herald. You have priority on the left-hand side of the map. There is no universe that Jenner can actually contest you. They're pulling Snowflower over here just in case he has the stand united in the event that something would go completely awry in bottom lane. And they have a gold lead. Zoe is well farmed. And you still have Zoe Ezreal in the mid game, which is quite a big nuisance to deal with. And the Nico is so far ahead, and I just don't know who's supposed to handle her in the later stages of the game.
I mean, that's really the thing, right? It looks impressive down on the bottom side, but it's only a couple of kills, and you knew you were already going to win that lane with the Lucian Braum. Jenner kind of just doubling down on it. They're not going to get the first turret here, though. It goes the way of KT, and really the lane dominance goes to the top lane and even mid lane for KT, where they're super far ahead. Double bounty already on both of the solo lanes.
And right now, scoring Kingen.
We're going again here. He misses that on Burrow as he's taking a massive amount of damage. What was that? He's dead. There you go.
He wanted to. Oh, hold on.
Okay, we're going for BDD, but the flash comes in, and They are going to respect that follow-up damage, so nobody will go down.
So the thing that was so surprising in top lane is that they really seem to have just forgotten about stopwatch, because you know that Score wants to break aggro with the Rek'Sai ultimate. We'll take another quick look at it. So what's going on here is that Nico's originally taking aggro, and so she moves about 200 range back. Zanya's Hourglass via the stopwatch comes in, breaks the aggro, Rek'Sai can't ult, and Score just ends up dying. So that was my face too. That was...
Yeah.
So, well, now here as we move into the middle stage of the game, which is about to commence, KT do find themselves with a 1,000 gold lead. Almost all of it is inside of that Nico.
You got a nice amount in your Zoe too, although BDD wasn't able to put too much pressure on in the early game. Has been doing much better about that, has about 30 CS ahead now. Jin Air just going to casually come over here to the Mountain Drake, as Grace was the first one to get on over, and they should be able to pick this up without any contest, while Kingen is, you know, still doing a number here in the top lane.
Right now, up here in top, Kingen. Overstaying is welcome. That's going to be a Rune Prison. Ultimate comes in. Ornn,
yeah, just trying to get some survivability here. And okay, we're still going in here as Kingen will be ignited and should be put to death. Finally shut down. Now one's going to go the way of Grace, so catches up a bit in that gold.
I'm curious if Chungo actually has a spellbook available, because otherwise that ignite was definitely not necessary in order to bring down Kingen. But that was a fantastic kill that they really did need. And Kingen pushing for top tier 2, it's a thing that you usually get to see inside of solo queue, but not so much inside of competitive, because the amount of vision investment and priority that needs to be maintained in the enemy's blue side jungle and mid lane, and they just don't have that right now. And so he should have already been sent into bottom lane way prior to this whole thing happening. But meanwhile, BDD and Score, they're going to raise the bottom tier 1 turret. It does come at the cost of the red.
And that's a cost they'll always be willing to do. You can see there's no pushing here in the mid lane, as Snowflower and Gango are holding that one down, and fortunately Chungo himself couldn't resist up against those two guys down on the bottom side. So nice amount of extra gold will go the way of KT, as you also did see the plates did go in their advantage too.
And let's take another quick look at it right here. Nico Ultimate comes in, and right here, Realm Warp coming in as well. Chungo casts the Ignite, but they have vision of Rek'Sai, so it's not like you think that there's maybe aid coming and you need to get that damage out as fast as possible. Ryze would have definitely been able to catch up again. So, as we resume back into live, still a 1k gold advantage here for KT. Open Drake will be the next one that's spawning.
Open Drake. No Clown Drakes just yet. How come Infernal and Mountain don't get cool names?
Well, I mean, they're actually, you know.
they're good in their own right.
They're good.
They don't need any extra help.
No.
What about Infernal?
Infernal?
Yeah.
No, Infernal Drake's
happen.
good.
That's
Open
true.
Drake is Open Drake because when it's open, you don't really care. Okay? Like,
when you get it, you just want to open. When your team prioritizes that and then 3 people die and the enemy team gets Baron, then it's an open Drake.
I think I told Atlas the story. I was playing in a scrim, and I'm Malzahar with 3 Ocean Drakes.
Yeah.
And after a Baron siege, we all back up, and I'm getting, like, 16 HP a second. And I'm like, this is pitiful. I'm like, let me just step away from the battle for 10 seconds to get 16 a second. Like, I could understand if it was like Warmog's level regeneration at 3 Ocean Drakes, but it was just really bad, because 3 Infernals or 3 Mountains changes so much.
It would need to have that same game-changing effect, right?
Right.
But it doesn't at all.
No, the fact that you have to be out of, like, that's the one thing I really dislike about Ocean Drake in the middle stages of the game, is that the stars have to align for you to really feel its effect and reap its rewards. because there's such little times where a battle ensues in competitive, and then everyone's like, all right, everyone, back to your corners. We're gonna resume the fight in exactly 30 seconds, and then that happens again. No, that's not what happens. Everyone resets. You eat your jungle camps again. You come off a recall. You buy items. Very, very few instances where it'll end up showing its head.
Yeah. What about Clown Drake? Sorry. Is that a little bit better?
I think that Cloud Drake at 2 is really, really nice. Clown Drake at 1, I think. Well, I mean, it's my own perspective, right? I think it's not worth capturing unless there's literally nothing else to do.
What about 3?
3 feels really nice. Three Cloud Drakes, 3 Oceans, or I'm sorry, 3 Cloud Drakes, 3 Infernals, and 3 Mountains all feel really nice. But I do think that Mountain is probably the strongest if you're winning. Like, if you're already winning lane. But if you're not winning lane, if the game state is even across the board, I think Infernal, depending on certain team comps, is just going to be quite good. You get, like, an extra longsword in lane, or you get a extra Dark Seal, essentially, almost.
Yeah. You know what the thing about Clown Drake for me is in solo queue when you're playing like a vulnerable mid lane and the enemy jungler has Moby Boots and the domination tree extra movement speed off of takedowns, and he just like shows up in your lane and immediately just dunks you, and I'm like, okay.
Feels nice.
The Infernal Drake may not have felt you, but the extra movement speed, you're really getting in my face here.
One of the things, though, as we see a second Mountain Drake is going to be coming up here in a second. It's just a casual trade. There really shouldn't be a death that occurs here. Is the second Mountain. This is one of the things that I'm a little bit undecided if I think that it's too busted. Because, again, the stars sort of have to align. You have to be winning to utilize it. But double Mountain opens up opportunities that would otherwise just not exist. For instance, 2-manning a Baron.
Yeah.
Or getting away with split pushes and raising turrets very quickly before the enemy would be able to respond. Whereas a Cloud Drake, you'd still have to wait for your minions, right?
Yeah,
if you don't have enough, you have to wait for the next wave. Whereas with maybe just a handful and 2 mountains, you can get away with stuff.
Yeah. You know, it was really interesting. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Nico was ahead and trying to push. I forget which team it was, but just sending out her clone and then getting like 3 or 4 autos on the turret. And if you have, you know, the Mountain Drakes and stuff like that, you can do even more damage. So, Grace, seems like they may have seen him enter the jungle, not sure where, but gets a good read on that Rek'Sai.
So I can talk a little bit about what's going on right now inside of the game. Seraph's Embrace is completed for the Rise, but Jin have this problem where the mid-tier 1 turret is really a thorn in their side right now because it's very difficult to invite KT out onto the map to the point where the Braum and the Ornn can get a lot of value with their ultimates. And so KT, they seem very content to sit back, play this fine line in middle, and allow the Ezreal and Zoe to keep scaling up, and then Nico's going to continue doing their job. And interestingly enough, Chungo is sort of at a Build-A-Bear workshop here. He has a Bommy's... what is it?
Bommy Cinder?
Bommy Cinder?
Yeah.
I felt like there was more of a name to that caster, by the way. But almost no champions on the KT team composition want to be on top of Ornn, and it's very unlikely, even if he gets on top of them, that he's going to be on top of them for long. And so the item just doesn't feel like it's going to be doing that much inside of the game, and he doesn't need it to really split push. So some peculiar itemization choice here out of the Ornn, but I guess he wants the Abyssal Mask Sunfire cape upgrades on the Ornn.
Seems that way, right? And, well, Gango taking a ton of damage for the Cully. He has to flash with about maybe 50, 75 health left over. You're not safe under your turret if you don't have your support, my friend. And Root once again showing his dominance in the 80 carry role.
And, you know, I gotta talk about the lack of synergy between Gango and Snowflower in general. We saw Snowflower moving out of the way a lot of times inside of the lane. Snowflower not flashing, dying to the Ignite earlier on. But here, Gango had to flash instead of Snowflower using Stand United. And Brendan, you did a quick math on which one has a shorter cooldown.
Stand United.
Excellent.
There you go, yeah. Caster, by the way.
You're such a
I've been
caster.
here for a while,
You're
yeah.
such a caster. All right, well, 1,000 gold lead is maintained. We're going to be here for a while.
He upgraded his mask, by the way.
No, it's free. That's the new Ornn passive, as
Yeah.
of a few patches ago.
Yeah, but it still gets upgraded.
Yeah, but he doesn't choose. It's automatic.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
he
okay.
hit the
It is
level and it got upgraded,
oh.
so now
Okay.
he's stronger.
Okay. Root missed the cannon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Think-
F's out in chat for the cannon.
48 seconds now until the Mountain Drake. And if Jinner can actually get
Here we go
this-
again.
God,
Culling is a pretty good ability, it turns out, as
this
Kelly does have
Lucian
Merc Treads.
he's very impressive with the calls. So far this game, he's been extremely on point. Oh man, Score and Kingen. They're looking for a wombo combo, maybe. I'm not sure if this is how you want to approach the fight. Oh man.
Oh boy. Well, Pop Blossom comes in, and people are going to be locked down, but it's a 2-on-5. Finally, we get a couple more members to come in, and they get the Lucian down. But so much damage coming out here from C's, actually, who's even able to land that Lamster Spite and save Chungo, who has taken a bunch of damage. Now, KT still have Ezreal and Zoe, though, and are going to be able to poke them back.
And so in the end, it ends up being a 2-for-1. But it looks like KT, they're going to turn their attention towards the Mountain Drake, so it's not just a 2-for-1. It ends up being a pretty big victory if KT do end up successfully getting this Mountain Drake. Teleport, though, coming in from Grace.
Okay, is going to get the mountain, and so Chungo's going to be right there in the front line. Big damage from the Rise, going to take out Gango. And they're going to pay 2 members already just for the Drake, and immediately pings are coming down on the Baron.
Pings are coming down on the Baron, but what's so interesting is that C's doesn't have Smite, although maybe it only has a couple of seconds remaining on it. Score does. I don't know if Chungo has Spellbook. If he would, it should be an unwinnable Smite for KT.
Yeah.
Because of the level disparity between Chungo and Score.
Seems like instead of that, they're just going to send the Rise out in front to try to zone Score away, but the Smite still not available here. As Sub-Poking comes out and Score, he's getting ready. Smite about to come off cooldown. Ezreal comes in and Kellen, he's so low. Are they just going to, no, they're going to continue on it. They want to turn onto Grace here, but he's able to get out of this one. Okay, down goes C's, and there
what
it is!
are you doing?
They stay on the Baron, and Score says, thank you very much. I'll take this for me.
I like how they pull the trigger after their jungler dies, Brendan.
Yeah, I know.
There is no greater statement to Jinner than that right there. We're going to take a look at it again. I am so excited to watch this again. So, the curious thing for me is that Kingen and Score were clearly looking for some sort of a backdoor engage type play, but you can see it's not the most effective into this team composition because this isn't how traditionally the Zoe and Ezreal want to conduct themselves inside of a fight. And so in the end, BDD and Gango, they end up repelling Jinner only to then be sandwiched by this follow-up teleport here with Chungo. Ended up bringing down some of the members. Right here, Snowflower ends up getting brought down. They immediately go over to the Baron. Rise should just be willing to sacrifice himself. The Smite is up on Kindred. And right here, they just seem so hesitant to do the 50-50. But then, after Kindred dies, they decide, we're going to do the 50-50. That wouldn't even have been a 50-50. The score was really slow.
They're just trying to go on the idea that Score's going to make a mistake, but...
I got Kindred. Nice. Back.
That was more like a nice.
Yeah.
He's getting hyped. As I guess it was just all happening so fast. It was kind of just a blur for the Jinner players who couldn't quite keep up with the play.
It's after your jungler dies, you commit.
Yeah, I mean, they were, I suppose, just trying to burst it down as fast as possible and hope that Score doesn't go in, but BDD gets the kill, and he's like, okay, jungler's dead, go in there. And
but also, C's had a slight advantage, I believe. I believe he was one level ahead at that point in time.
I think so, but...
So now KT with the Baron. They don't have the largest gold lead, but the Ezreal and Zoe, not quite at the 3-item mark yet, but you can just see that the assault that is able to be dished out by these two champions is quite annoying. You have the Nico down there in the bottom, Born canceling sleep.
Yeah.
You ever blow flames out of your mouth when you don't want to go to bed?
Yeah, all the time.
Alright.
That's kind of my thing.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm into. The Zoe Ezreal, of course, very dependent on the first couple of Barons of the game. Helps out their siege even more. It's very good to deny that away from the enemy team as well. So, doing pretty good so far.
And the Blade of the Ruin King was the first upgraded item on the side of Jinair. Like Kindred with a very interesting build order here.
It's like eventually getting to that IE as Jinair. LS, do you want to take over from here? I think I'm done. Oh man. Well, they were trying to force the engage, and things went horrifically wrong. As I suppose he just he said that was enough. Enough was enough, and he'd given up. He says, "Okay, you guys can take it. You got away successfully from the engage."
I love League of Legends. Oh yeah. Give it to me one more time.
Yeah. Got a good cast going on here. Having a lot of fun. As third mountain goes the way of KT. No Infernals in this game. Got a Clown Drake next. It's very appropriate.
That's very fitting.
You gotta be okay.
I don't know. I like how they keep just looking at him.
Yeah,
too.
I know.
The observers know.
Zooming in.
Oh man, I wouldn't trust a weapon built by the Ornn, you know?
You got that, what's it called? The Molten Edge?
I think that is it, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's very...
Big sword on the side of the Kindred. And I suppose that's part of the reason why he went for that build.
The weird thing to me, though, is that the IE is such a long build. You can see that he's completing it here at 30 minutes time after the Warrior Enchant. So a very stunted second core item for the Kindred. And you're only going to have a limited amount of crit chance on the side of it. So it strikes me a little bit bizarre that there's so many squishies on the side of KT, and that instead a cheaper item isn't purchased first and then trying to go into IE later, I guess. But Kindred will definitely hurt in these fights now.
Maybe, you know, rolling the dice. Okay, here we go once again. Is going to get the real flash out of BDD, so much better this time around.
Redeemed. From
the Chungo, as he does hit his target if the flash wasn't going to come down.
It almost sounds like a train. The Chungo, you just said?
Yeah, the Chungo, yeah.
The Chungo. What does it actually mean, do you know?
I don't know, actually, what Chungo translates to. Or if it's even...
or if it even actually has a meaning.
I guess it could be a name.
So
but kind of doubt that.
Here's the really cool part, is where KT has double Mountain. So they have the ability to two-man Baron now with Ezreal Rek'Sai, if they would want to do it. They could also do something with probably Rek'Sai Benny.
Here we go again. As Root himself taking out half the health bars of two people. Grace having trouble dealing with that Nico, who's, I think, already 3.5 items. Yeah, really laying down the hurt there in that bottom lane.
Now, Jinair is actually doing quite a good job at slowly gaining ground inside of the left-hand side river, but the real menace is down in bottom lane. As that Nico, it really, really hurts.
You can see that the best that the Rise has is Rune Prisoning, and hoping that Kingen backs away. But how about Lucian to spice things up a little bit? Stopwatch is going to come down here, but it's going to be a 2-on-1. Kingen is going to be cleansed away from living in that one, but you can see immediately KT just say, okay, we're going in for the Baron. Junko coming in, gonna get the knockup.
Oh!
Score!
Says you will not die!
Is it going to be the return, the revenge?
Oh!
It is! As he spikes down the Baron. They get the kill on the jungler and they pick up the Baron just like KT did to them. They're gonna get a couple more kills here too as Gango's on the run.
I think Jin Air might have just won the game.
I know.
I think
They're
they did
pushing
it.
in.
Brendan, do you ever watch that movie Constantine?
Yeah.
No, you didn't, but there's a part where,
Yeah.
never mind, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
This is actually more exciting. Jin Air are looking like they're going to be in the driver's seat. Ezreal, Zoe, Nico cannot resist Baron.
Yeah.
The champions are fundamentally incapable of resisting Baron buff, sieges, as is any poke team composition.
Yeah.
And so this is absolutely fantastic now. Jin Air, all the turrets around the map are falling. This is like Gandalf just came over the mountain. As we're going to see it one more time. The Baron was at such a low HP amount. Chungo gets in there on score. And Seas tells Baron, you will not die yet. As he is finally able to seize the day.
First time. As, yeah.
Well,
Really, Chungo on the Orn pick. MVP that time around.
look at Zoe, look at Zoe. Nice.
And then mid.
Mid, yeah.
And, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, really the highlight play goes to Chungo there, gets the burst damage onto the Rek'Sai. As Score tanking the Baron, he's not really a tank. He's got all attack damage items, didn't have his GA quite yet. As if he did, maybe he would have respawned in time for the smite, but either way, Baron goes the way of Jin Air. So far they have gotten, I think, 3 turrets. One on the top and 2 in the middle, but still looking for more.
Kingen trying to do stuff on the other side of the map. On the Nico, it does look like Jin Air going to rotate now down into the bottom right. They want to raise this turret. Oh, sees.
Oh, boy.
Interestingly enough, this is those weird moments where Ocean Drake can be a little valuable. We can see the HP coming in now.
Yeah, he's,
You see, it's quite slow though. Like if a fight was,
it's
breaking
coming
out.
in though, you know.
Yeah, I mean he's almost now at 3/4 from.
It is Kindred too, so he doesn't have that much health.
Yeah. Let's see if we get a pan over to. He's almost full. 30 seconds later. Oh no, actually he didn't. He gained about 200 HP. Congratulations.
Well, now he's got a red.
Yeah.
That's going to help a lot more than the Ocean Drake. As HP regen on that is quite nice. So 20 seconds left here on the Baron. 2-shot barrage going to be thrown into that Unbreakable as Root once again just standing in the front and shelling out the artillery essentially better than the Ezreal and the Zoe can do it this time. One inhibitor is going to go down. Kingen's still in the bottom lane pushing it out. I think they need his help at this point.
Kingen is everyone's favorite neighborhood friendly Tryndamere. That's what he's doing in this game.
Or Teemo. Or Master
Teemo.
Yi. You see that a lot. Korean solo queue.
Oh yeah. They stop playing jungle and they just start split pushing.
Yeah. Or it's top Yi, and you know, they went 0-4 against Darius and they decide, okay, now's my time to shine. 36 minutes into the game, I'm gonna go split push as our base is dying. Typical solo queue things, as he was just pushing out the wave, decided, hey, I can't help out right now, and at least has that bottom lane push going. That's about it.
Cloud Drake now is being eaten. Jin Air, they didn't get as much value out of the Baron as I think that they definitely could have. But, minute and a half now until the next one. And the Zoe Ezreal is really the main focal point here for KT still. But those Ornn items, they're really starting to come in. I mean, They do help
Yeah.
at this stage of the game.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, I'd like to see some more of the items here on Disease. You can see he's going for more crit with that Zeal built up and a QSS even to help out against mainly the Zoe or maybe a Shen engage that could come in.
Wonder what the next Ornn item that will be given actually is.
Maybe the... Can you actually upgrade 2 of the items on the same champion? I
No,
don't actually
you can't.
know that. Okay.
No, you can't.
So it would have to be the Rise then, right?
I
You
think
okay?
I think the what's that item's name? Zeke's Herald.
Zeke's?
Yeah. I think that can be upgraded, right?
I'm not sure.
Solari can. Redemption can.
Here we go. We got Shen in here too. Grace is going to go down. 1,000 gold goes to Snowflower. As the timing there is perfect, though. Really can't fault them for that one. 20 seconds until the Baron comes up. And they already got a kill out of that Rise. This is pretty late in the game, too. 50 seconds.
Yeah.
For that Rise to come up, but they're going for the engage. They want to get onto BDD. He flashes away, but do they have the damage? Kellen trying to get in there. Doesn't look like they quite can, as now he's going to be going down. Gengo not able to block, and meanwhile on the bottom lane, just the terror is striking there. Jin Air, they win for the play. They win for the last chance. Doesn't look like it's going to work out, as Seas is now getting in there with the Lamps or Spite, trying to do that damage to Gengo, but perfectly timed from BDD.
Whoa!
Look at Root. He's going to get 2 kills. Can he make it 3? Score. Not going to even be able to get the kill on a Junko, but take a look at the main base. Root has to go back home.
Grace is up.
Okay, trying to kill Snowflower, though, as, yeah, Grace is going to come back up
Wait, is
here.
Root going to go for the end? Oh,
he's going
that
for the kill
champion
first.
does a lot of damage.
Dang it, he's just going to try to end this game here as Grace is going to try to burst him down. The minions are trying to kill the minions! Can they get him? No, he's got the lifesteal.
Oh, Kellen! Wait, but Root!
Root's getting in there. What's happening?
Oh, no!
Oh, they don't. Oh, when's the next person spawning? It's 10 seconds. They got to get in there and end this game. But Kagan, score going in. Can he end it? Yes, he can. Score.
Root was robbed.
He's going to get it. Root can't quite win this game for his team. Well, guys, I didn't know that this game was going to turn out like this, but, man, it's getting hot in here. As,
I love this game.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was a fantastic end to a very traditional Clown Fiesta that we had throughout the game. A couple of Barons going the way potentially they shouldn't have, and then Root trying to carry it himself.
Oh, man. There's so many ways. Oh, that's such a awful feeling if you're Jin Air, knowing that there's different. If you run that situation from the time when Kellen comes off the fountain, that it can probably end in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And this time, they were on the side of defeat. But oh, wow, what an interesting game. I actually, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so did I. That was awesome.
Watching this. This was truly an exciting game here.
And you know why? It's because KT and Jin are on very similar levels.
And I think that you have to give the MVP to Kingen. Absolutely. I mean, yes, he was playing single player. He was well farmed. He's the guy that when you go to the auction house, you wonder if, you know, maybe that he has the items that he does.
Yeah, yeah.
He always has.
Them, yeah.
He was doing his own thing. His teammates were doing things too. But Kingen was the one getting all the turrets, getting the gold acceleration, having the stuff get started up in top lane. Score was a byproduct of some of the initial top lane ganks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Kingen managed to get the kill on the end there at the Rise, get the inhibitor, push on for the end. I think he has to get the MVP.
I just can't believe he was hitting the Nexus and, of course, not life-stealing. And the minions almost killed him.
Yeah.
He pulled off at the perfect time to back away, lifesteal from the minions, survive and wait for score, and then win the game off of that. If he dies, then it's 2-on-1 on score, and then Root wins the game.
Yep.
So I think Kangan has to pick that one up. That was really the highlight moment for me.
Feel so bad for Root. He was by far and away
Jin-Air
the
80 carries,
best
right?
player in this game. Jin-Air 80 carries.
That's what it is, right?
They fly first class.
It's the curse, right? They're the only one in first class, though. They're kind of flying their own Jin-Air plane somewhere over
yeah,
here.
they're the pilot, you know. So, I feel really bad for him.
Yeah.
That Lucian performance was actually really nice.
Yeah. So, guys, we have a replay, actually, from the base race that we're going to hop into very quickly. I do want to get a replay from that. That was a really good one, for sure.
Yeah.
One for the books. Even though, Jin-Air versus KT, we're expecting maybe not as much fun, but this game was really back and forth. A lot of highlight moments, good and bad. And I suppose we'll get into that afterwards, as somehow Zoe does the most damage.
For a Kindred that was trying to build raw damage, not the most coming out there. The Ornn only meant to be supportive, and there you can see Root down there on the bottom.
Yeah.
Trying to do everything he possibly could. But in the end, it just was not enough. We're going to take another look at the base race ending replay, as you did just say.
Eventually. We'll get there.
Curious
sometime.
if there's anything I missed while it was actually happening. Maybe
sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to take a look also at Root's path and how he got in there. But, okay, I suppose maybe the replay will come later, or maybe not at all, because I hear that music as